Rachel Goldberg. Rachel Goldberg was born in a little town called Vancouver to a very loving and caring family. She was raised well. 5 years later, off Rachel went to kindergarten, happy as a clam.
Bye!
Hello children, I'm Maura Hannah.
Hi, Maura Hannah!
Today we will be learning about Jewish symbols. A symbol are images, acts, or ideas that stand for something else. The first symbol is the Magen David, also known as the Star of David. It was on the shield of the Maccabee Judah. It is the symbol of victory. The next one is a Hamasa, a mosaic of an upside-down hand with one or more eyes on it. It is hung on the door and is used to ward off evil things. Another one is a menorah, and a menorah is a 7-branched candelabrum which was to hold candles in the first and second temple. The last one is a mezuzah on the doorframe, except on bathrooms, contain a special prayer in them.
Now, as a Jew, there were many different festivals and holidays that Rachel would celebrate with her family. One of these was Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
Rachel, can you explain what Hanukkah is?
Hanukkah is when the Maccabees defeated the Greeks and won back the temple.
What about Passover?
Passover is when the Jews were set free from their slavery in Egypt.
Anything you know about Purim?
Purim is like the Jewish Halloween. They dress up in costumes and read the whole scroll of when the Jews defeated the wicked Haman.
Since you know so much, can you explain a little bit about holidays?
There's Tu B'Shvat, and there's Rosh Hashanah, and Yom Kippur, and Shavuot.
Girls at the age of 12 and boys at the age of 13 have a ceremony that marks their coming of age. For girls this is called a bat mitzvah, and for boys this is called a bar mitzvah. Many read from the Torah, and all they lead the service at the synagogue. They wear a prayer shawl called a talit. Rachel was always very enthusiastic about school projects. One day she was assigned a project to do on Jewish history.
This is my project on Jewish history. In 3761 BCE, the creation of the world happened. This was when the first humans on the earth were created, named Adam and Eve. In 1428 BCE, the Israelites were enslaved in Egypt. They were enslaved for 400 years. In 1312 BCE, the Exodus from Egypt happened. That is celebrated nowadays by a holiday called Passover. In 1312 BCE, the Torah is given to the Israelites in the form of 2 tablets called the Ten Commandments. In 1272 BCE, the conquest of the Promised Land happened. It was invaded by the Jews and conquered within 7 days. In 825 BCE, the first temple was completed. In 422 BCE, the Babylonians conquered Israel and destroyed the temple. In 355 BCE, the miracle of Purim happened. Queen Esther helped the Jews defeat the wicked Haman. In 352 BCE, the construction of the Second Temple begins. In 135 BCE, the miracle of Hanukkah happened. The oil lasted for 8 days on the menorah. This was a miracle. In 700 CE, the temple was destroyed by the Romans. In 1882 was the first Aliyah. This was the first migration of Jews to Israel from Russia. In 1933, Hitler comes into power. This is when the Holocaust started. In 1948, the State of Israel was declared.
Rachel enjoyed watching educational programs on the television. One day, she came across something that felt very significant to her and sparked her interest.
Ooh!
Judaism is a religious tradition with origins dating back nearly 4,000 years in the ancient eastern region of Canaan, which is now modern-day Israel and Palestinian territory. Over time, the Jewish community spread throughout all parts of the world because of both voluntary migrations and forced exile or expulsion.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wait, is the beef in this pasta kosher?
What?
Kosher.
I don't understand.
Can you please hurry up? I really need to get to my table before someone else takes my spot.
I'm sorry, I just need to know if the meat in this pasta is kosher.
Allow me to interject if you're a little confused about the scenario going on in the cafeteria with Rachel over there. So, kosher comes from the word kasher, which means good or proper and refers to the dietary laws of Judaism. Not all Jews keep kosher, but many do. Kosher meat is slaughtered as though to rid the animal of as much blood as possible, according to the laws in the Torah that state that blood is forbidden to be ingested. So, the Torah has no clear explanation of the purpose of kosher, but there are speculations that include it's for health regulations, self-control or discipline, or mindful eating as an act of faith to Judaism, or even vegetarianism. So here's a chart that lists what is kosher and what is not. So Rachel can determine if the food in the cafeteria is kosher. So ritually slaughtered, like I said, to rid the animal of as much blood as possible, meat is kosher, and it can only be animals that chew their cud and have cloven hooves, like cows, sheep, goats, and deer, that are lacking flaws and disease. Pork, camel, rabbit, rodent, reptiles, and any animal that died of natural causes is treif, which means forbidden. Chicken, turkey, quail, and geese are all birds that can be kosher. However, eagle, hawk, and vulture are not. And as for fish, salmon, tuna, carp, herring, and cod are completely permissible, while crab, lobster, octopus, clam, swordfish, and sturgeon are not. And also, another rule about keeping kosher is meat has to be eaten separately from dairy. For example, you couldn't drink a milkshake or a glass of milk while consuming meat, or you couldn't have a cheeseburger because there's cheese on the meat. Wine or grape juice that is made under Jewish supervision may be kosher, but any other wine or grape juice is forbidden. Soft cheese is permitted, and kosher hard cheese, but most hard cheese otherwise is forbidden. So, now you guys can know what kosher is, and it is a very big part of Jewish lifestyle if the Jew family keeps kosher. Marriage was a huge milestone in Rachel Goldberg's life. In Jewish marriages, it is considered that God has commanded the two people to be together, and that God is very involved throughout the course of the marriage. Jewish men are considered incomplete before they are married.
I now pronounce you a husband and wife. Mazel tov!
The Jewish day of rest is called Shabbat, in English known as the Sabbath. It starts on Friday at sundown and ends on Saturday when there are 3 stars in the sky. During this period of time, Jews will visit the synagogue, but they do no work and do not use electronics. On the Friday night, a big meal is eaten, blessings are said for bread and wine, and candles are lit.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת. אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המוציא לחם מן הארץ. Amen.
Today we're going to teach you about the 10 Commandments, sweetie.
Do you know what those are?
Guideline for how Jews should live their lives.
Very good. Okay, the
Ten Commandments were words that were written by God on 2 stone tablets.
He saw people worshiping the golden calf, God, and smashed them.
The Ten Commandments are the ideological basis for the 613 commandments of the Torah. Do you want to read the Ten Commandments, honey?
I am the Lord your God who brought you out of slavery in Egypt. You shall have no other gods but me. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God. You shall remember and keep the Sabbath day holy. Honor your mother and father. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witnesses against your neighbor. And you shall not covet.
Okay, Mommy and Daddy, now that I know you, I will be such a good Jew.
Good.
When it was time for Rachel Goldberg's soul to leave her body, it happened peacefully while she was asleep with her daughter and husband at her side. No definitive Jewish view of the afterlife, or what happens when you die, but there have been possible ideas or speculations that have developed over the centuries. One of them is Olam Haba, which is a concept. It means the world to come in Hebrew and is described as a simple and carefree version of the world in early rabbinic texts. It has a physical realm existing after Messiah has come and after God has judged the living and the dead. The idea of a place where people go after they die in Judaism is Gehenna, and ancient rabbis viewed it as a place of punishment for people who led immoral or sinful lives. Souls could only spend 12 months there, and after punishment, they could be considered pure enough to go into Gan Eden, which is the next one. Gan Eden means Garden of Eden in Hebrew, and it is depicted as a paradise for those who live morally upright lives. Wait, no.
Hello class, 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 hello class.
One day she was assigned to do a project on Jewish history, no.
Oh no.
Bad. That said, it was no surprise that she fared excellently.
I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Start again. Baruch atah. Baruch atah.
I'd like for how Jews should live their life.
He saw people worshiping the golden calf as God and smashed. What?